Hello, my friends. Today we're talking about Africa Risen, the anthology from Sri Renee Thomas, uh, Aganchawebe, Donald Ekpeki, and Zelda Knight. This was published in 2022, and it was published by, I think it's Tor, but I'm not sure. Yes, it was published by Tor.com, actually. This has 30 plus stories in it, and it is an anthology around the African diaspora and individuals from Africa living in the States as well. Every story has a very strong connection to Africa folklore and Africa in general. What I enjoyed about this anthology is that it introduced me to a lot of different mythologies and folklore that I didn't know about. And I got a better idea what the African storytelling system is like. So going through the table of contents, I'm going to say which ones I really enjoyed. The first one was from Stephen Barnes. This one was called IRL, and it is about a individual that lives in a virtual world that impacts the physical world, and he has to get his father free from a big corporation that just fired his father. The next one I liked was The Soul Would Have No Rainbow by Yvette Lisa Lalouvu. And this is about a grandchild that finds her grandmother's cookbook and finds out that her grandmother was actually a shapeshifter. And in this story, there was the best quote of the entire book. And I'm going to turn to that page real quick. That quote is on page 108. The soul would have no rainbow if the eyes didn't have tears. And I love that quote. So good. The next story that I liked was A Dream of Electric Mothers by Wool Talabi. This one is about a cabinet-like system where they have to decide if they're going to go to war against another country. And they go into this mother frame type system to ask the question about if they should go to war. And one of the cabinet members, her sole focus is to actually talk to her deceased mother because some of her memories are in that machine. The next story that I liked a lot was from Tenaveri Dew. It is called Ghost Ship. It is a futuristic, almost dystopian story about kind of like a servant being sent over to America on a ship, and they're given a package to take with them, and they have to open that package once they get on the ship, and they don't know what's in the package. It was very good. I do like Tenabri Do quite a bit as well. The next one that I liked, and probably my favorite of the entire anthology, was by Toby Agundaran. It's called The Lady of the Yellow Painted Library. It is about a library, so obviously I would like it. And it is about a traveling salesman that borrows a book from a library, and he loses the book. And the librarian does not take any explanation whatsoever for why this book is lost. And the librarian basically stalks this traveling salesman to get that book back, and the librarian is a little bit scary. Um, Definitely a horror-based book. There were a lot of horror-based stories in this anthology. The next one that I liked was A Soul of Small Places by Mami Bagama Dian and Wapa Diallo. This one was about coming of age and the horrors of men trying to hurt these young women and the revenge that this one young woman has on these men. And the last story that I really liked was called The Taloned Beast by Chineweo Anawalu. I know I am butchering these names and I apologize. This one was about a boy from Africa that goes to the States to live with his half side of his family and finds a situation where the uncle in this house is very abusive, and there is a woman that lives with them that is providing magical remedies for the uncle. So I am very glad that I read this anthology. Not all the stories worked for me. I think it was just my ignorance of not knowing a lot about African mythology. I think that I would have connected more with the stories if I would have known more. But it's good to be introduced to something a lot different so that in the future, when I read things that are similar, I then have the ability to make connections with the stories that were in this anthology. Okay, so those are my thoughts on Africa Risen. Stop by your local library and pick this one up. I will talk to you all next time.